Hi guys, it's Legionero. Welcome back to my channel, and I would like to welcome all of my new subscribers. So I was going through my computer trying to archive different things onto my external hard drive, and I found a tutorial that I recorded back in 2018. I'm not sure why I didn't post this tutorial or put out this PDF pattern, but I'm going to link the PDF pattern in the description box below and upload this video, and you all will have another free pattern. This pattern is called the Crystal Crossbody bag. It has a zip pocket on the back, and it has a pocket with a flap on the front with and I use the plastic snaps as a closure. I'll walk you through step by step on how to put together this bag. So head to the link in the description to download your PDF pattern, and we can get started. The next slide will be a list of all the tools you'll need for this pattern. Those tools will be listed in the description box below as well as on the PDF pattern. When you cut out your fabric using your pattern pieces, you should see fold printed on your pattern piece. So wherever you see fold printed on your pattern piece, you are cutting that fabric and interfacing on the fold of your fabric. So let's get started. So now you should have your pattern pieces printed for the Crystal Crossbody bag. So let's go ahead and cut them out. So for pattern piece number 1A and 1B, that should be on your first page, you're going to attach 1B to 1A at the triangle. You should have some triangles on your pattern piece. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just cut down the middle in between the pattern pieces. Don't cut your pattern pieces. Okay, and I'm going to cut off on pattern piece 1B. I'm just going to cut off the excess at the top, and I'm going to attach it to 1A at the triangle. Once you have it lined up pretty good, go ahead and take your tape and tape them together. I like to cut off some of this excess on the back. It's not necessary. I just like to cut it out and tape the back as well. Once I have the pattern pieces taped together, I go ahead and cut around the solid lines. Those are the only two pattern pieces that you will have to attach together. Every other pattern piece, you're just going to cut around the solid lines. So let's go over all the pattern pieces you should have just cut out. You have your main pattern piece, which is 1A and B that you attach together. 2A, which is the back top portion of the pattern. 2B, which is the back bottom portion. Pattern piece number 3, which is your strap tab. Pattern piece number 4, your slip pocket. Pattern piece number 5, the front pocket. Pattern piece number 6, which will be your front pocket flap. So let's cut out our fabric, our lining, and our interfacing. So I've already cut out all of my pattern pieces along with the interfacing, and I've already fused my interfacing, but I'm going to go over each pattern piece you should have along with what should be interfaced with fusible fleece and what should be interfaced with woven interfacing. So you have your pattern piece number 1. So you should cut 1 of exterior fabric, 1 of fusible fleece, and 3 of lining, and 2 of woven interfacing. So you should have 4 pieces cut in total. So for your main front, you're going to fuse the fusible fleece. And then for your lining pieces, 2 of them should be fused with woven interfacing and 1 with no interfacing. So if you're like me and you're using the same fabric for your exterior and your lining pieces, go ahead and take a marking pen and just on the back, just put an L for lining. That way you know which pieces are your lining pieces and they're not getting mixed up. So just put a small little L to let you know that these are lining pieces. Alright, so for pattern piece 2A, which is your back top, you should cut 1 of exterior, 1 of lining, 1 of fusible fleece, and 1 of woven interfacing. So your fusible fleece should be fused to your exterior piece, and then your woven interfacing should be fused to your lining piece. So again, if you're using the same fabric, go ahead and put a little L on it for lining. For 2B, you should cut 1 of exterior, 1 of lining, 1 of fusible fleece, and 1 of woven interfacing. So fusible fleece is fused to your exterior piece, and the woven interfacing is fused to your lining, and I'm just putting the L again because I'm using the same fabric. Pattern piece number 3, these are your strap tabs. You should cut 2 of exterior fabric and 2 of woven interfacing, and go ahead and fuse your woven interfacing to your exterior pieces. Pattern piece number 4 is your slip pocket. You cut 2 of lining and you cut 2 of woven interfacing, and go ahead and fuse your woven interfacing. Pattern piece number 5, this is your front pocket. You should cut 1 of exterior, 1 of lining, and 2 of woven interfacing, and you're fusing the woven interfacing to both your exterior and your lining piece. And go ahead and put your L for your lining if you're using the same fabric like I am. And finally, piece number 6, which is your front pocket flap. You cut 1 of exterior, 1 of lining, and 2 of woven interfacing. And you go ahead and fuse your woven interfacing and put an L on your lining piece if you're using the same fabric. Alright, so let's get started. So let's start out with our slip pocket. You should have 2 pieces and they should be fused with the woven interfacing. Go ahead and place them with right sides facing. And you're going to pin around, making sure that you leave an opening in the bottom so that you can turn it once we're done sewing. And I always use 2 different color pins so I'll know where to start and stop. Once you have it pinned, go ahead and take it to the sewing machine and start at one pin, sew around, stop at the other, so you can leave that opening in the bottom. Alright, once you're done sewing around, you can go ahead and clip your corners. Get as close to the stitching as you can without going over the stitching. You can clip your edges as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn this to the right side using the opening that you left in the bottom. Alright, poke out your corners. Once you have it turned to the right side, go ahead and take it to your ironing board and give it a good press. Once you have your pocket pressed, go ahead and grab one of your lining pieces, one of the pieces that has the woven interfacing fused to it, and I marked an L on mine. Go ahead and grab one of those pieces, and I'm just going to eyeball it, but measure down about 2.5 inches. Make sure you center it, and go ahead and pin your pocket to your lining piece. Make sure the opening is at the bottom. Right, go ahead and sew around the sides and the bottom. Now your slip pocket should be sewn to one of your lining pieces. Right, so grab your strap tabs. You should have 2 of them. And we're going to go ahead and press and sew your strap tabs. So what you want to do, you want to take it and fold it in half. Then press. And grab one side, and you're going to fold it towards that middle crease, and the other side the same way. And then you're going to fold them onto themselves and press. I like to use a clip just to clip this in place until I get to the sewing machine to sew it in place. And do the other strap tab the same way. So now we're going to assemble the back of the bag. So you're going to be working with pattern piece 2A first, which is your back top. You should have 2 pieces, one exterior and one lining. Now remember, if you're using the same fabric like I am, your lining has the woven interfacing, and you should have put an L on the back of it. You're also going to be using your 7-inch zipper. So place your zipper face down on the exterior piece. This is the piece with the fusible fleece. So place it so that the zipper pull is facing down. And then take your lining piece and place it on top of the zipper so that your zipper is sandwiched between the 2 pieces. And you take a clip, clip it in place. You're going to take it to the sewing machine, and using your zipper foot, you're going to sew down this edge. Now remember, your zipper pull is facing down onto your exterior piece, the piece with the fusible fleece. So now you should have the top part attached to your zipper. Now grab pattern piece 2B, which is your back bottom, and we're going to attach that to the other side of the zipper. Right. So take your exterior piece, the piece with the fusible fleece, and I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to place my piece with the right side facing up, and I'm going to place it, the zipper with the zipper pull facing down at the top. And I'm going to take my lining piece and I'm going to place it on top of the zipper, sandwiching the zipper in between. Take some clips, clip it in place. Take it to the sewing machine, sewing down this edge with your zipper foot. Now that you have the top and bottom attached to the zipper, go ahead and take the lining piece that does not have any interfacing, and you're going to place it with the right side spacing. And take some clips and clip it in place. And what you're going to do, you're just going to base down each side. And if you have to or need to, and you have a little bit of excess here, just go ahead and trim and even it up. So now that you have the lining without any interfacing based to the back piece, go ahead and grab your strap tabs and your D-rings. I've already done one side. Go ahead and place your D-ring onto your strap and fold it. And on each side, go ahead and measure down about 1.5 inches, and that's where you're going to place your strap tab and D-ring. Once you have it on there, go ahead and take a clip, clip it in place. And you're going to take it to the sewing machine and you're just going to baste your strap tabs onto the back. So in this next part of the video, I talk about adding the snaps to your flap and your front pocket of the bag. I feel like I made it super complicated in the video. So the easier way to do it is to go ahead and mark your snap placement on your fabric. Don't use anything that's erasable or that can be ironed away, because you will have to iron the pieces. So you can use a regular pen. Go ahead and mark your snap placement, because we're going to poke a hole through that area and place your snaps there anyway, so your mark won't be seen. So before you sew up your flap and your pocket for the front of your bag, go ahead and mark the snap placement on your fabric. So now we're going to be working with pieces 5 and 6. I'm going to work with 6 first, which is your front pocket flap. And you should have 2 pieces, and they should both be fused with woven interfacing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place them with right sides facing. And I'm going to pin around. And we're going to sew it just like we sewed the slip pocket. We're going to leave an opening in the bottom to turn it. Alright, so what you're going to do, you're going to sew the sides at 3/8 of an inch. And then the bottom and the top, you're going to sew that 1/4 of an inch. So 1/4 of an inch across the top and the bottom, leaving your opening in the bottom, and 3/8 of an inch on each side. And you're going to sew the front pocket, piece number 5, you're going to sew that the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and take it and pin it together. That way we can take them both to the sewing machine at the same time. And also don't forget to leave your opening so you can turn it to the right side. Alright, so 3/8 of an inch on the sides and 1/4 of an inch on the top. Alright, now that you have sewn your front pocket flap and your front pocket, go ahead and clip your corners and trim the sides. Go ahead and, using the opening that you left in the bottom, turn them to the right side. Poke out your corners. And you're going to give them a press, making sure you tuck in the seam allowance for the opening that you left. Alright, so take both pieces and just give them a good press. Alright, so for your flap, you're going to top stitch the sides and the bottom where you left the opening. Alright, and I'm just going to put a few pins in the bottom where I left the opening. Right, so you're only top stitching the sides and the bottom of your flap. Now for your bottom, you're only going to top stitch across the top, right? Because when we add it to the front pattern piece, you're going to sew the sides and the bottom where you left the opening. So for the actual pocket, you're only going to top stitch across the top. And you can put pins there also, just to let you know that's all you're doing. So let's work with our front pocket flap first. You're going to take your pattern piece. Your pattern piece should have a snap placement dot on it. This lets you know where to place the snap. So what you're going to do, you're going to fold your flap in half, and the bottom is where you top stitched, so just remember that. The part without the top stitching is going to be the top of your pocket. So take your pattern piece and you're going to lay it on top of your pocket, right? And kind of even it out in the middle. Of course, your piece is not going to fit your pattern piece evenly, so you want to make sure that you kind of lay it on there and even it out. Once it's even on your pattern piece, flip it over, and you're going to take a marking pen and you're going to mark on your fabric where to place the snap. Right? Just going to make a mark. Alright. Now, I don't know if you're going to be using the same pliers as me, snap pliers and snaps. So make sure that you're following the instructions for your particular snap pliers, but I'm going to show you how I do mine. And I'm using the Drix, and I got it from Hobby Lobby. I'll link the information in the description box below of the ones that I have. And I also got the snaps from Hobby Lobby as well. So I'm going to take this all and I'm just going to make a hole where I made the mark for the snap placement. So I'm just going to punch a hole through it, and I'm going through both layers because you're going to have a snap on each side. Right? So you just make a hole. Alright, and you're going to take the top of your snap. This will be on the outside of your pocket. This is the top that has the smooth edge. And you're going to take two of the bottom pieces. So you're going to need two for the flap and two for the pocket. So what you're going to do, you're going to take the top part of it, place it on the inside of the hole, and I'm going to do both sides at the same time. Kind of wrestling with this hole a little bit, but that's okay. There we go. Push it through. And then place the other top piece on the other side. And push it through. Alright, so you should have your top pieces. Flip it over. And you're going to take the bottom piece and you're just going to place it on top and press down. And again, make sure you're following the instructions on your snap that comes with your snap pliers. Alright. And you press it down onto the point. Otherwise, when you get ready to use your pliers, your snaps won't go into place correctly. Right, once you have them in place, go ahead and take your snap pliers. The smooth edge is on this black side here. You place it in there and you just press down. The little elbow grease. Do the same thing to the other side. Alright, so now you have the snaps on your flap. Now let's add the snaps to our actual pocket. Alright, so with your pocket, the side that you top stitch, this is the side that's going to be the top of your pocket. So we're going to do the same thing. You're going to fold it in half, and you're going to take your pattern piece and kind of make sure it's evened out here. And you're going to make a mark for your snap placement. Okay, once I know everything is lined up correctly, I fold it in half. And I just take my awl and poke a hole. And go ahead and place your snaps. Now this time, the smooth piece of your snap is going on the back of your pocket piece, not the front. So flip your pattern piece over to the back. This part of your snap will be on the front of your pocket, because if you put the smooth section on the front, then it won't snap. Alright, so the smooth section goes on the back of your pocket, and the bottom of your snap goes on the front of the pocket. Alright, just take your pliers and press down again. Alright, and another reason why I like to double check everything is correct is because these snaps are hard to remove. Now we just need to add the pocket to the front of your bag. So now that we have the snaps on our pocket and flap, what we're going to do, we're going to measure down 2 1/4 inches, right? And I'm just going to eyeball it. Right, and you're going to take your pocket piece and make sure that the back of your snap is facing up. You're going to pin it in place. Right, and you're going to sew the sides and across the bottom. Now make sure the bottom is where you left that opening, so make sure you get that, make sure when you're sewing you get that. So you're going to sew the sides and the bottom, and then you're going to take your flap and just go ahead and snap it together so it'll hold in place. And you don't have to do this right now. You can do this at the sewing machine. Snap it together so it's in place, and then you'll sew across the top here to secure it to the back piece. Alright? But first you're going to sew the sides and the bottom of your main pocket. Alright, so let's assemble our bag. I'm going to take our front exterior piece with the pocket and one lining piece and our zipper. And make sure your zipper is going in the same direction as your back piece. So I'm going to take my zipper and I'm going to place it face down. On the exterior front piece, my zipper pull is facing down. I'm going to take the lining piece and place it on top. And use some clips and clip it together. So now we're going to add the back of the bag to the other side of the zipper and the lining. So take the back and you're going to place it, take the back and with the right side facing up, take the side with your zipper and place it face down so that the zipper pull is facing down. I'm just going to take a clip then take your lining piece with the pocket and place that on top of the zipper, sandwiching it in between. Alright, so take it to the sewing machine, sew down this edge, and then top stitch just like you did the other side. Alright, so now that you have everything sewn to the zipper, go ahead and open up your zipper about halfway. You're going to place your front and back pieces together and your two lining pieces together. You're going to clip all the way around, making sure that you leave an opening in the lining to turn your bag. Alright, we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we're going to sew all the way around, leaving an opening in the bottom of the lining. Now that you've sewn all the way around your bag, go ahead and flip it to the right side with the opening that you left in the lining. Make sure you poke out all of your corners. Only thing you have to do now is close up this opening that you left in the lining. Tuck your lining on the inside and you'll be all done. Now that you've closed up the opening that you left in the lining, go ahead and tuck your lining on the inside of your bag. Make sure you straighten everything out. And then you can go ahead and zip your bag up. Alright, so you have your strap tabs for your strap. I'm going to link a video in the description box below where I show you from start to finish how to assemble and sew and make your adjustable strap for the bag. The bag has your front pocket. This is the front of your bag. So you have your front pocket with your snaps. And you can do magnetic snaps if you want to. It's up to you. And then you have your zipper pocket on the back. And you are all done. Thank you for sewing Crystal along with me. You can find the information on how to purchase the pattern in the description box below. Click the thumbs up if you like this video, and I'll see you in my next tutorial.